As a kid, I used to watch rugby league and I'd hear Ray French.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see Frenchy. Now you're becoming the real voice of rugby league. Dave Woods, BBC correspondent. And this is a bit of a feature called Ask the Experts.
Yeah. And you had no experts.
No,
so
so I've come to you,
Yeah. And thankfully, the face of not the face of rugby league. Otherwise, we're in trouble.
Mate, tell us a little bit about your passion and where did it come from for the game.
Well, I mean, my dad was a rugby league fan, so he took me. He tells me he took me when I was 2 years old, and I can't remember that. But
which team?
Wigan. My dad was. We're from Bolton, and it's that weird geography, isn't it? Where if you go to Bolton, they've never heard of rugby league. But my dad got into watching. He went watching Lee, actually, not far from here, the old Hilton Park, on a night when they played Wigan. Billy Boston had just started.
Wow.
Yeah, and he was a football fan. You know, he was in his teens. But Billy Boston had started, and he was, this bloke's brilliant. So he started watching Wigan, and he got passionate about Wigan. So when I was born, you know, automatically we used to go watching Wigan. And the old seats from the popular side, the popular stand, when they closed Central Park, me and my dad went with the Jemmy bars and we got the seats out that we'd had as season tickets for years and years.
And you nicked the seats?
You nicked the seats.
Typical.
We got permission.
Typical what it is.
Morris Lindsay gave us permission, so we were all right. But yeah, so I've never known a time when rugby league's not been a part of my life. It's always been a part of my life.
And how do you feel about the game today? Because obviously it's different.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How do you feel about it today?
Well, I mean, it's ever evolving, isn't it? I mean, when I started watching the game, it was a different game to what my dad had started watching.
Yeah.
And, you know, people watching it now, it's a different game to the 80s. You know, you watch the old videos of the 80s and you don't recognise the game, do you? You watch that first State of Origin and it's just organised rabble, isn't it? Well, it's not even organised. So there's, you know, things change and things, but it's still a great game. Still absolutely love the game. Absolutely love the game.
Mate, looking forward to this season.
Yep.
Super League is nearly upon us. There's so much expectation, as there always is. I think honestly, I was a little bit disappointed with last year. And yeah, is that my enthusiasm a bit? But with Lee coming up, I'm kind of looking around the room today, enthused by. Yeah. I don't think there's going to be a bad game. I don't think there's going to be where it's going to be so hard to call.
Yeah. Well, if you can't be optimistic at this time of year, you never can. And just chatting to them, like you think, who's going to finish in the top four? And just chatting to all them coaches, and there's going to be 12 teams finishing the top four this year. You know, so no one's going to finish bottom. No one's going to have a bad season. So it's a great time of the year, isn't it? Because everyone's got that optimism. But like you, I'm you know, the last couple of years, there's just that feeling that we've not quite had the standards that we'd hoped for. But I think this year, we look to Cass. You know, they are the entertainers, along with Warrington and Hull to a certain extent, and Leeds. So I think you look to Cass and you look at the signings they've made and you go, wow, you know, they could be really good this year. Wigan are going to be thereabouts. St Helens, I think Saints. I mean, everyone talks about Matty Smith. You know, the tragedy of the broken leg and 10 weeks out. But, you know, they've got that Ryan Morgan who's got some pace in the centre.
He's a great player.
So the two props they've signed, Douglas and Walker, they're top class. I mean, arguably the best two props in the Four Nations last year, you know, for Scotland. So I think Saints are going to come back with a bang. Leeds are going to come back. You know, it's not going to be the same season that Leeds had last year, is it? So Leeds are back. Warrington, you know, they're still up there. Kevin Brown having signed. Hull, you know, what they've Albert Kelly at Hull, you know, he's going to make a difference, take them another step further maybe if he's consistent throughout the year. And then you throw in the likes of Lee and, you know, Wakefield are quite... Where do you stop? You know what I mean? Salford should have been top 8 last year.
Sure, Salford, yeah.
And ended up 90 seconds away from relegation. So they're going to make a push as well. So, wow, it's going to be a great year.
Mate, I can't call it, but unfortunately for our section, you've got to call it.
Right, okay.
Give us your top four.
Top four, Cass, Wigan, Saints, Warrington.
Cass, Wigan, Saints, Warrington. Yeah. Give us your Challenge Cup winners.
Cass.
That's what I've called as well. I've called Cass as well. And who's going to lift the trophy at the end of the season, grand final?
Oh, sorry. You know, because even 3 weeks out last year, you wouldn't have predicted Wigan were going to lift it. 3 weeks away from the grand final, you wouldn't have predicted Wigan were going to win it. So at this time of the year, impossible. I would say, I think it could be Warrington's year this year. I think Warrington have got that pedigree and have got that know-how and, you know, came close to a treble last year.
Yeah.
You know, won the League Leaders' Shield, lost the Challenge Cup, lost the grand final. Could have been treble winners, so I think it might be their year this year to win the grand final.
And lastly, but not least, who's going to be in the £1 million game?
Oh, OKR.
Yeah.
OKR, unless they get up automatically, and I won't put that past them. Who's going to be in the £1 million game? Oh, this is the one that coaches hate you for, isn't it? I remember it years ago, and Carl Harrison at Salford, and every time I saw him, went, you predicted we're going to finish bottom. And look where we are, we're 5th or whatever. So I don't know. I think I love Widnes, I love Dennis, but they've lost Kevin Brown, and you know how difficult a year that might be for them. Hopefully not. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Let's hope. I don't know. Featherstone, because Ulker get up automatically. Featherstone against... no, it could be 2 Super League clubs then, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh. Right, I'm going to go Widnes against Ulker.
Widnes Ulker, £1 million game. We'll see how right you are at the end of the year. Dave, have a great year. We'll be there right with you.
Belting every week.
Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, Spec, the specialist power contractor to industry.